Let's call our meeting to order, please. Trina, would you take roll call?
Mayor Parker?
Here.
Mr. Jacobs is absent. Mr. Strackoff is absent.
Ooh,
No,
not quite.
Nick is here. Mr. Martin?
Here.
Mr. Adelia?
Here.
Ms. Gutschall?
Here.
Mr. Stewart is absent. Mr. D?
Here.
Ms. Christie is absent. And Mr. Stevens.
Here.
Adequate notice of this meeting of the Bedminster Township Land Use Board was filed with the Township Clerk and sent to the Burnersville News, Burnersville, the Courier News, Somerville, and to all subscribers, and posted at the Township Municipal Building, 1 Miller Lane, Bedminster, New Jersey, on January 13, 2016.
Flag salute, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, looks like we have no minutes to approve tonight. And no correspondence, no resolutions. This is the time of the evening if anyone in the public would like to talk about something that's not on the agenda. Seeing nothing, we will go on to our determination of completeness. You're up.
First item is the McGrath application. Paul's original December 17th letter, there were 5 items, and they've addressed the taxes, and they've added signature lines to the sketch. They provide a list of property owners. They're still looking for a waiver of the zone data, and which it really deals with impervious surface and setbacks to property lines. Not a major issue, so that's okay to waive. Focus, that's okay. The other question is the signed property owner's consent. If you have that, so then everything's in order.
We do have that.
We do, and I did send it to Paul.
Madam Chairman, there is one item, a couple items for waiver for completeness, but Paul and I and Bob are satisfied that it's adequate, appropriate for you to deem it, waive those items and deem it complete in your acceptance.
Okay.
Is there a motion to waive the remaining items and deem the application?
I'll second it.
Who was the first?
Not Claire. She was being a little quiet.
That's unusually.
Typically.
It's been saying yes to
Okay, Mayor
me.
Parker?
Second.
Ms. Jacobs?
Or aye.
Aye.
Mr. Strackoff?
Aye.
Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Adelia?
Aye.
Mr. D?
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
And Ms. West?
Aye.
The applicants may come forward and sit at this table if you'd like to, but you have to be sworn and speak into the mic. You may be seated. And I'm going to ask you to both to raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
And please state your names and addresses.
Thomas S. McGrath, 30 Fieldstone Road in Bedminster, New Jersey.
Grace McGrath, 30 Fieldstone Road, Bedminster, New Jersey.
Thank you, Mr. and Mr. McGrath. And pretty straightforward, so if you would like to maybe just describe for the board what you're requesting and why. And
Mr. Collins, could I just ask one question? Who was noticed in this?
people within 200 feet, I believe.
All the residents?
Within 200 feet of their unit, and then I think some of the condominium associations as well, at least one. Now, Ms. McGrath and Mr. McGrath, you can just describe it in your own words, because the board has the authority to grant the relief and the approval based upon the record of the testimony here tonight. So it's pretty straightforward, and that you don't really get to read other people's writings into the record, but you do get to say whatever you as witnesses want to tell the board that's relevant or material to this case. Okay? So if that helps you understand it.
I think that you have the materials that are pertinent to this issue. My health has not been very good for the past several years, and I have a BiPAP respirator in my home, along with an oxygen converter, both of which are electrically powered. And we ran out of power last year, and I ended up, when Sandy came through, I ended up in a hospital for 4 days. And this year I've been fortunate. I can go generally 4 to 5 hours without oxygen, but I have to have oxygen, particularly when I lie down. And I have to lie down during the day. I'm under treatment of several doctors. I had a aortic valve replacement last March. And during that procedure, they discovered that I had cancer in one of my kidneys. So they had to take that kidney out in June. And I'm in the process of trying to recover from those 2 operations. It would be enormously helpful for me to have this generator on an emergency basis only. It turns on automatically. It's the power is the natural gas that comes into our unit as it is, and it will not change the electrical system in my place at all. There's just an automatic switch that transfers the power. Once the power goes out, the device turns on and produces the electricity necessary to power the unit. It'll be approximately 5 feet off of our chimney. Currently, my bedroom is nearby. I have 3 air conditioners there, and they produce a little sound, but it doesn't disturb me. And the people upstairs have never complained about it. This device will be some 20-some feet away, and it will produce sound, but the sound limits are approximately 65 decibels. So it's no louder than the existing air conditioners. And we have signed a restrictive covenant in our deed and filed it appropriately at the county, stating that upon my demise, which hopefully isn't too soon, we'll take it out. Well, she'll take it out. Let's put it that way. I'll be busy elsewhere.
You'd like to be able to take it out yourself, but
That's in our deed as required by the association. And that's essentially what we're doing. I think you have all the pictures of where it is that we're going to place this. And we had to send out those receipts twice. And that was rather expensive, but we did do that, and we got those green cards back. And we've submitted them. I think you have everything you need. I don't know. If you have any other questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them.
Mr. Collins, should those drawings be entered into evidence? Is that
well, they're part of your application forms, and there's nothing new or additional, I don't think. So if they would like to present anything, they may, but you do have their application, you have the drawings, some picture, I think, of the generator, standard application documents.
Any other questions from the board?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you use this unit at night when you sleep?
I use it at night and during the day. Whenever I lie down, when you have sleep apnea, you have difficulties breathing.
Right.
So I have that device along with the oxygen converter that pumps air into oxygen.
All right. And have you received approval from the housing association there?
Yes, and there's a letter to that effect.
Thank you.
Anyone else on the board?
Were there any conditions that the condo association imposed in this letter, screening or vegetation, anything else like that?
No, only thing is the restrictive covenant to have it removed when I no longer need it.
When you no longer need it? Hope that long time in the future.
Hope it rusts away.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
No, they haven't requested it. We would be glad to do that if they requested it, but they haven't.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Banish?
All looks very straightforward to me. I was confused when I looked at the number on the garage doors. Do you live in the unit on the end next to where this will be installed?
No.
Okay.
In the hills, in Fieldstone, the numbers apparently were designated as the units were sold, so they are not sequential.
Yeah, they're not in.
And
That
it's-
explains a lot.
It's very confusing.
Just to make it more interesting.
With the second garage in, labeled 30 clearly, on the garage door itself, right above it, and then on the front of the building, it is also labeled,
So you're the second unit over?
second unit in, yes.
And obviously the person who will be closest to this generator is aware of it because you had to notify them? Yeah, I thought you said it's your,
Garage door, I'm sorry.
Second garage door.
Second garage
We're the
door.
first.
it's your chimney. This is going to be right outside your unit, just
Yeah.
like those air conditioners are.
Yes.
So the people most affected by this, because
All right.
5 feet from their building and 50 feet, whatever, from the other building. So, yeah, I think you're in good shape.
And are you on the first floor?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The public, do they have any questions?
Anyone in the public have any questions or comments regarding this application? Because this is our public hearing on this application.
That's either in support or against.
Yes. Yes.
Please,
Longtime friend.
sir, please,
No.
please stand.
Steve Buckley.
Steve.
74 Wendover Court.
Nope.
It-
Gotta go up there so we can
I have to put you on the video.
record it.
Sir, you're on. You're.
All I can
Please, Steve, please raise your right hand. I'm sorry, too. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
And I'm sorry again, Steve. Just state your name and spell your last name.
Stephen Buckley, Buckley. I'm at 74 Wendover Court, just down the road from Grace and Tom.
Anything you'd like to say, please go ahead.
Sure. Tom has been, we call Tom affectionately the ex-sheriff because for years he was the president of the association and he drove around day after day, night after night, keeping the neighborhood safe and secure in his Toyota, which I don't think runs anymore.
No.
But now Grace has handed over
It
her
died
car.
before me.
He's not done yet. So I just want to say that I took pictures of most of the stuff that these guys are talking about. It's a very quiet neighborhood, and that this clearly would not be a problem for most of us, if not all of us. And there's several ladies in the third row there, to which had to stop watching the Bernie Madoff TV show tonight to come out here on behalf of these guys tonight. So
Isn't this more exciting?
this is way, this is the real stuff.
Right.
So what you're saying is whether those people get up to speak or not, they're all
Oh,
here?
no. In fact, I'm living with one, and she won't be talking to me.
No, what I mean is that you think they're not in opposition to the application?
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure. They wanted to be there for support, and we also got several signature pages from other neighbors who couldn't be there tonight, but they just wanted to show their support for the McGrath's initiative.
Thank you.
So what I say is very positive stuff about these two guys. They did not dress alike on purpose tonight.
Team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Board, you want to make a motion?
I have just, if I could, just one.
Oh,
question.
sure.
In the restrictive covenant that was prepared, was there any discussion about when specifically it's removed if you sell the unit? Is it
When I
30
bring the
days
unit,
before CO? Is there any,
when the unit is sold,
it's just when it's
which will
sold?
be after I vacate it. And that is in the restrictive covenant required by the community.
Okay, so any future homeowner is going to know that it's got to be removed.
Unless they have a similar need and they can come back to this board and request a waiver, that's possible.
Not on.
And that would be up to the condo association to enforce.
Yeah, it doesn't, it just says, it doesn't really have a timeline, you know. It doesn't say before CO, within 30 days, it's kind of blank, but just thought, I was wondering if they talked about that at all.
So the issue, I guess, to us is that we're approving the location if we do. If that's what we do. We would approve the location, the permanency or the enforcement under the deed restrictions is really up to the condo association.
Right, that's how I see it.
If the board had a strong preference and would like a condition, you could ask the applicants to accept a condition. I don't have a strong opinion on the subject. But if the board had a preference, if you wanted to say a condition on this site plan waiver, you could have a condition that you would ask them to agree to. And we could put it in the resolution.
If that condition is going to be the removal that the homeowners association is interested in, they probably have a greater interest in it than we do, and we probably don't want to be in the middle of, we probably don't want to make that a condition.
Agreed. I
agree.
That's really up to the employee by the condo association.
I agree. I think it should be up to the association.
So if the board is ready and you've opened to the public, you've heard the public. Mr. and Mrs. McGrath, I think you've presented enough, and I don't think you need to present any more. And is there anything more you'd like to testify to? You don't have to, but if
Not really.
So, Madam Chairwoman, are you looking for a motion?
I am looking for a
I will
motion.
give you a motion. In favor.
I will second.
We need a roll call, Trina? Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
yes, motion to approve the site plan waiver as described by the applicants.
Mayor Parker?
Aye?
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Mr. Blackwell?
Aye.
Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
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 Madam Chairman, I'm sure that the applicant would like to do this immediately, so could we have a motion to confirm that this is effective immediately tonight, with the applicants to be able to proceed at their own risk, provided they comply with all other building permit and other requirements? Is there such a motion?
Do we hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Trina?
Who's second, Nick?
Yep.
Mayor Parker?
Aye?
Mrs. Blackwell?
Aye.
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Skip you.
Aye.
Mr. Blackwell?
Aye.
Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Best of luck.
You can go forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Much
I really
appreciated.
appreciate it. If you can't imagine.
I'm sure.
It's like a weight off my shoulder.
Yes.
Since you'll put this in, there won't be any power failure.
Good insurance.
You're probably right.
After you spend the money, lights won't go out.
Right. That would be a good thing. Okay, let's continue with our,
Please don't tell them that.
let's continue with our completeness.
The quantum float application, there were set items that Paul had in his completeness letter of January 19th, and he has no objection to any of the waivers, 2 through 7, and on his comment 1 regarding the certification of appropriateness from the historic preservation, just indicated that he expects that by the time of the hearing, so there's no objection to the site waivers that are requested.
Okay, I think we need a motion then to approve it.
To deem it complete. Yes. Motion to deem it complete, waive remaining items for completeness. Is there such a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mayor Parker?
Aye?
Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Mr. Blackwell?
Aye.
Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. D?
Aye.
Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
And Mr. Blackwell?
Aye. Okay, and our next one, Lamington River.
Yes, there was a letter, Paul written January 27th. Apparently, the applicant has submitted revised plans to address those, but they're not in our office. I think Paul might have possibly taken them home with him, but, so I really can't comment on that right now.
So we have to deem it still incomplete.
Yeah, you don't have to take action, basically, I don't think. Is it already, it's already deemed complete by Paul, I think.
Well, no.
No?
I don't know. I don't know what was in his original letter, but Gladstone Design dropped off
So what we could do is,
revised
Paul, or
items in response to that letter, but he didn't get them, so they're dropping off another set for Bob either tomorrow or Monday.
So if this could be carried to next.
Till next
yeah,
week.
why don't we carry it to the next week? We won't even take action either way.
Okay.
It could also be dealt with administratively, that Bob might find it complete, and then, in which case, you don't even have to waive anything, or if there's something that has to be waived, we can deal with that next week.
You deem it complete and have the hearing same night, if that.
Well, it won't be that fast.
If the schedule, if
Yeah,
that's what the
yeah,
schedule is.
they won't be noticing that
Sure.
fast, but, and I think we have it on a future date anyway that we're looking at, if I'm not, according to the agenda.
For
May 11th, or, no,
our agenda.
no, it's chock full, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the wrong Lamington. Too many Lamingtons.
Okay, so do we want to go on and
Yep,
pick some dates here?
that would be good.
We're into April. March is already.
March
we
is,
have advance, the first meeting in March is ABC.
okay.
Yeah, and let me just tell the board that we're aiming probably to use the March 10th meeting, which is a KDC night, but maybe the first part of the meeting to do a master plan hearing on a master plan amendment to update the housing element fair share plan. It's not very complicated and I don't think it takes a lot of time. But it's something that the township attorney and I would like us to do, and Frank and I are going to work on that and have notice for that for the March 10th. I would ask that the vice chair perhaps appoint a subcommittee, maybe volunteers to work a little bit with us to read the document before we notice it, because we probably have a draft in late February, notice it in late February for March 10th in the newspaper and to the surrounding municipalities. So it would be good if at least a subcommittee could look at it with me and Frank.
Okay. How many do you think you would like?
I think 3 people would be good. We could force the chairman, Mr. Boxer, to serve on that. Since he's not here, we can definitely force him. You can force him to. I can't force him to, but you could force him to. And then if there were 2 other, one possible
I'm not sure if he'll be
suggestion.
back before that, though, that's the problem.
Yeah.
But I will certainly do
And then
it.
maybe the vice chair could
So
serve.
what dates are you talking about actually getting together?
Well,
Well,
you won't,
have it
I don't think you'll have to get together. I think what you'll be doing is, we'll be emailing just subcommittee a copy. We'll ask you to give me and Frank comments. And then we would
This is-
say, maybe change it, and then you would notice. And then at
Okay.
the meeting, you can change.
Okay. And we want one other?
I can do it.
Lou? Okay, you have your 3.
This is not going to be rocket science either. You know, most towns are scrambling to try to figure out where to get these units. You've got the units. You meet any obligation anybody could charge you with.
You're very familiar with the credits and your compliance.
Okay.
And the imperative is to have the fair share plan back to the Central Committee by March 21 to be adopted.
George.
I'm sorry, it was after March 21.
Right, and only,
It is a firm date.
and that endorsement will be by resolution. It won't be an ordinance. At some point, you may implement the housing element through an ordinance, but you won't need to then. So it's really only adopted by the planning board. And what the governing body does is they say, to the extent it implicates anything we might have to do, we agree, yeah, we're going to do whatever it says. But there won't be a lot you have to do.
Right, and this was a subject that Frank and I had some discussion earlier today, and I had a series of discussions with
excuse me one second. In terms of, you're going to present the documents for me to read.
Let me explain what happens.
What do you need me to do with those documents?
Really, it's just a look-see at the draft of the document, because we want you to be in the loop a little bit and have your feedback in case you say, well, please change this, or what does this mean, and how could, just so you as a subcommittee sort of understand what the professionals are doing, and then when we have the public hearing, you'll be able to advise the full board that you took a look at it and it looked good to you and why. And then what happens in a master plan public hearing is you open to the public, there might be comments, and that is the hearing on that portion of the master plan. And if you would like to change it, you can change it that night, but you have to say exactly the changes that you want to make. So I don't expect that to happen, but then if you did make changes, or even if you didn't, you can just adopt it that night, it becomes effective that night, it gets sent to the county planning board, and basically it is the new housing element portion of the township's master plan done by the board. That's who does the master plan. It goes to the township committee for endorsement because it's also seeking compliance with seeking a declaratory judgment under the new decision of the Supreme Court to have the court approve or confirm that the township complies with the Constitution of New Jersey as to providing a realistic opportunity for the creation of your fair share of affordable housing. I feel that you already do that, but we have to cross the T's and dot the I's and do it again. So we'll be doing that. Your credits exceed your obligation.
And the date, the March date really comes in through a consent order that the Township of Bedminster entered into as approved by Judge Miller. And part of it says, on or before March 31, 2016. 31.
Yes, it is. Hopefully we have 29th February this year.
Right. We got an extra one.
If it was a 32nd, I would be a little concerned.
The Township Planning Board shall adopt, and the Township Committee shall endorse, and the Township shall submit an amended housing plan element and fair share plan to create a realistic opportunity for the satisfaction of the Township's fair share of the region's affordable housing needs. So that's
the current order, so to speak.
So, Attorney Florida very much would like to comply with the timeframe in there. The last Township Committee meeting for the month is the 1st.
Okay. Do you want to set dates for any other hearings at this time, or you want to?
Let's just look at the ones we've scheduled and just make sure we feel comfortable that we will have a quorum. Next week we have MLG.
Yep.
And in March 3rd you'll have the Bedminster funding. Oh, and Chesson. So that's right. We expect that to take some time for both of those.
Expected that MLG would probably not
So we'll have to continue.
Did we send the application off to the Historic Preservation Commission? Yeah, because if it wasn't done, it has to be done, because that's definitely in the zone.
It is hard to go out further because there's a lot, and we don't. Oh, they want to wait till after the election or something? I mean, that's right.
Yeah.
We need the space.
But, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of hard because we don't know when MLB will get carried to, we don't know when Advance will get carried to, we don't know when KDC will get carried to.
You're
We
right.
have so many applications right now that take one entire night to
Right.
get the agenda. and we just got 2 applications this week alone. We got Somerset Aaron and, Ian.
Well, why don't we wait till next week then?
Yeah, maybe
Let's
next
wait
week we'll have a
week.
better.
We'll see
Yeah,
how
next
it
week
goes.
finishes up.
Yeah. Okay.
And also March 3rd, you might know a little bit more about your
But we
schedule.
do know for next week. Yes.
Yes, we have next week and March. Next week is already set, and both of the March meetings are already
So it's
set. You know, unless
Bedminster
someone were obviously
Advance.
canceled.
You said advance on the 3rd,
And
ABC on the
ABC.
10th, and maybe something else being added to the 10th, just the
Yeah,
master plan.
that was
Just
what
a
Paul
master
said,
plan.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything else on the 10th now, because we're now
Oh,
going to
right,
do the
because you
master
have
plan.
that, yeah.
I don't think it'll take long, but you have to be ready for anything.
Right.
Basically, the entire third dedicated to the infrastructure.
So you won't be here.
Okay, do we hear a motion then?
What about comments from the board?
Comments from the board? Anybody?
Sounds like you have one, Dick.
Yeah, I have a comment.
Yes,
I was reading in the Burnersville News this afternoon about the great job that Larry Jacobs did in getting the Lana Lobel farm set aside
yes.
for preservation. And, you know, it was a background, as I gather, it was all in the background, but a necessary and vital step. So wanted to congratulate
Yeah,
Larry.
congratulations.
A very good thing to highlight, Nick, and that is a big deal for Bedminster.
Yeah, and congratulations to the town. That's a good thing.
Thank you, Nick, and you know, talking earlier with Frank about this, and really, kudos go to New Jersey Conservation Foundation, which is an open space consultant, and Beth Davison, who really pushed this through, that folks at NJCF, and she's been working on preservation of Lana Lobel for about 2 years. It really was one of the solicitations, the general solicitations that NJCF sends out on behalf of Bedminster to those landowners that got the property to respond. Finally.
The charming.
Maybe the
landowner.
market may have persuaded the property owner to venture into this, but that really stayed with it during the entire process. It was not an easy process with the property owner and really the complexities with the county and the state.
How much of the property is conserved?
All of it.
The whole thing?
The only thing that is not preserved
Is the main house?
is there's one exception area around the main house
Right.
on the south,
Right?
and one exception area around the house on
On
the
the
north
north.
side.
Okay.
That's it. The rest of the property
This
is
is
subject to an agricultural preservation.
Perfect, good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Can I just add to that, because I did have the opportunity to thank Larry today for all of his efforts there, and I think the mayor's probably deserves some of that credit too. The planning board also deserves some of that credit, because you all made a series of moves in your farmland preservation plans that have identified key properties for acquisition. That's why they rank high enough to get the money. So this is the culmination of an effort that really has been brought forward. And I think what's so significant about this, when you look at what the county has acquired in that portion of our town, and you add this in, you've got permanent scenery. You've got the stuff we talked about years ago about trying to guarantee that the scenic corridor character would not get eaten up and chipped away at. Well, it's a big, really big step.
And for those who don't know, the county acquired the property across Rattlesnake Bridge from Lana Lobel. So that corner of Rattlesnake and Burnt Mills is owned by the county. And so that essentially gives a very large chunk of land that will permanently be open. The county property may eventually involve public access. Lana Lobel is an agricultural easement, not an open space easement.
Can't go hiking there.
You can't go hiking. It's still private property. But as Frank said, this is really a large swath of land.
essentially gateway property for Bedminster and for the town.
It's gateway as it gets, really, when you think about it.
Very nice.
That was another master plan element.
Mhm.
Or the document has an implementation possibly preserved, and you're one of the leaders in that.
Okay,
I have a question, comment, maybe directed towards Tom, maybe he can help us out. Recently, I saw a letter that was sent by Mr. Sasso regarding KDC application.
We can't talk about that case except in the hearing.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to direct it towards you.
In the hearing, we'll talk about issues, and only in the hearing.
I have one comment.
Yes, sir.
Just a question. How come, who decided to put the podium there for land use?
I think because of the camera.
Well, but at township committee meetings, it's back here. I'm just wondering who made that decision? Why is it?
I have no idea.
It was kind of just decided by
Assume you don't like it?
Well, no, it's just that I think.
They said, where would it really bother George? And then put it
And I
there.
did ask Lance, now that we have someone in that seat, and I told me to leave it.
I mean, I think we should give folks the opportunity to either stand over there or to stand here. I don't think we should force people to come up. Just my opinion.
Well, but the video doesn't go there.
Yeah, but at township committee meetings, it's back
That's not a
there.
hearing. The hearing, you're in a hearing.
Yeah.
And I think what you're trying to do is have a video of the hearing.
I don't know, I think it might intimidate people a little bit. That's just my thought. Maybe it's not so.
Can you get?
Psychologically, it's definitely
Can you get-
off-putting to walk up to the front
It is.
compared to walking
I
there.
think I don't think it lends itself to a balanced opportunity for folks to talk if they kind of have to come over there.
The public ombudsman.
In the video, can you change the camera to be wider angle?
Unfortunately, the camera is the way it
Sorry
is.
that the video isn't better.
But no, but why do they have to be on the video?
I guess
Their voices will be
If you're
good.
taking a video, you ought to be able to get.
Right, the thought was.
The
when
witness?
it was set up, it kind of defeats the purpose if you can't see.
Well, I think the purpose of the video is to have an opportunity for people to sit at home, go on YouTube, and watch what goes on at the meeting. If you don't see somebody's face, you're still hearing what goes on.
You know, their name and address is on the tape.
It is incomplete if you think about it. If you're trying to have a verbatim recording of the proceeding, including the demeanor of witnesses, the only way to get that is the video being on the witness. They're there and they're saying something you can't see them on the video. That's not quite true.
The same way you judge the credibility
Well,
of the
how many
witness.
years did we go without a video?
Yeah, you don't have to have video, but the decision has been made to have it. But I'm only saying that you would normally try to cover everyone. In court, for example, they have these fancy videos that go to the voice, follow the voice. Pretty disturbing when you see it happen.
If you cough, suddenly
You
you're
can
up.
get one of those if you have enough money. I don't know. I think it's really your call. If you really probably what it was Paul and Lance treating was trying to figure out how to set up room to deal with people.
And not just the number of people that support it, but also the number of people that are interested in maybe watching this in a place that's other than here. And I particularly last time I saw the numbers, the township meeting was not getting nearly as many views as any board.
Because you didn't ask everybody to like your Facebook page.
We're more popular.
We did that.
Steve and I are so bored. We're more popular here.
See that?
Then we're sitting
I'll lay you odds it's Board of Adjustment that gets those big numbers.
Oh, well.
Not planning board.
I bet you're right.
So,
Maybe it's something
this may have been it may have been Lance, I think we did talk about it early on.
Right, like I said, I mean, I did ask Lance now that we do have someone in that seat to get over was at the way, when we first put the podium there, there was no one sitting there.
Right.
I didn't want him to feel disrespected, but Lance
Right.
Lance told you to disrespect him?
Oh, I just didn't want you to think you were
It's
being.
quite all right by me. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Because it is kind of right in front of me, so I asked Lance, did he want me to move it and, see how far we could push it back?
Put it in front of Lance, see how he likes it.
Well, I think it'll be more important when we actually have, exhibits and stuff. That's when I think it could be more important,
Where's the camera for
It's the camera's here.
Oh,
That's
this
the
thing.
camera
Yeah, it's
right
back
there.
there.
But it only covers, Tom and Frank are not in the camera.
No,
Paul and I are.
no.
Covers the dais, you can see
Right.
the applicant chairs, obviously, you have to see their backs. And then, in order to get the public on it, that was the only place to put it.
So we don't have the demeanor of the applicants or the
Well,
planner
you
or
can
the
still see
attorney?
them speaking. I mean, the camera can only do so much.
Right, but
And there was a lot
my
of
point is
discussion.
that, I've made my point.
Yeah.
You don't have, their faces are not on the camera, your faces are not,
No.
yet we're compelling our residents to come front and center, which may be fine. I just wanted to bring up the issue.
Yeah. But we also make the lawyers go there, and I think that, that's important to see them.
Yeah, but they
Right.
usually just,
No, they're
Sit
gonna
there.
sit
most of the time, we
here.
don't see their faces at all.
Well, we do ask them to go there, and maybe at times they don't.
Most of the time, the witnesses
Yeah,
are
they're
right here.
there.
We don't see their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also put it right next to the table there, facing us. And they would be essentially on par with the applicant.
See, to me, that makes more sense.
It is a mobile mic, so that's...
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to be, they can be done. They can be done very
No wire.
easily.
It is real.
Yeah.
Battery operated.
All right.
Something to think.
Anyone else?
Would the board like that, more of that? I mean, we just,
Move it
it's
over?
all mobile.
We could at least try it, see?
Yeah, try it
We
out.
can move it over.
Yeah, try it one meeting one place, one meeting the other, see if it met. I will say before we adjourn, or at least before those on the planning board adjourn, this is not land use related. I'm sure everyone knows this, but I'll say it anyway for the record. Monday's the viewing and Tuesday is the memorial service for Chief Meyer. So please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers. And if you have the opportunity to come out or in between, pay respects. That's all I have. Thank you.
Anyone else? Do I hear a motion? Close the meeting. Second? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye, 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 aye.
Meeting's closed.